New G units, Daigo making its return, we got a new manga and a new anime for Cardfight Vanguard. This is only a glimpse to the future and it's going to be awesome. Stand up! Vanguard! Hey Cardfighters, welcome back to another extra edition of Cardfight Update, and today we have a very special video because, as you probably known, today about 2 hours ago we had this special product livestream that is biannually or twice a year where Bush would announce the upcoming sets and things they want to do for their respective card games, and the card game that we're most interested in is Vanguard. And what they revealed today is quite exciting and to some degree was to be expected. So today we've got a lot of interesting things. We've got new sets announced for the upcoming months. We've got interesting reveals for Vanguard Zero that are actually quite pleasant news to hear, especially for older players that are lacking certain support. And we also got the news of a new manga which has a very fan favorite archetype in it, and the reveal of the brand new anime, or at least a teaser trailer to what is going to be expected in 2021. So without further ado, let's jump right into the actual physical card game news, the new sets for the TCG themselves, and of course, a new product livestream means a new product schedule. And this is the brand new schedule that they revealed today. Most of it is already what we know so far, as in July for Japan, they have the Bank Dream set as well as the Robbie Lambert set or Butterfly Under Moonlight, which will come out about next week in Japan. And we already know about most of the card reveals. Then in the next month afterwards, in August, we're going to have the Luward set plus the Tachikaze, Spike Brothers and Mega Colony clans, which we all know with the exciting reveals of Phantom Blaster Overlord, and as well as Gaia and Gordora and Rising Nova. Then in September, we have the set with Lambros, which was quite a surprise, but also with, of course, Shiranui, Victor, and what we're gonna get with Big Belly and Isabel. Now, these were the sets that were already revealed. Now, we also know about the set that's gonna come afterwards in October, which, as you see right now, has Angel Feathers, Gold Paladin, Genesis, and Narukami. Most of these clans were already expected to be in this particular set for Gold Paladin, Angel Feathers, and Genesis, but Narukami is a surprising one, but that's basically because of a unit that nobody actually saw coming. And then in the last couple of months for this year, we're gonna have a special set for Royal Paladin and a special extra booster set for Bermuda Triangle. This is basically what we had last year with Crystal Melody. So apparently Bermuda Triangle is going from a summer set release now to a winter set release. And the question is, they're going to do this for a couple of years in a row, or this is just coincidence that they're doing it twice back to back. Now, of course, they also showcase what the next big set after this set for Lambros is gonna be, and that's gonna be VBT12 with Gravail. And let me tell you, the artwork on this Gravail is looking good. It is looking really crisp, and it is really exciting to see the return of Gravail as well as the other cards in this set, because we know all the VRs, because this is again a big set which will contain 5 VRs, and that means one clan is gonna get a double VR, and it's probably a expected guess of which of these 4 clans are gonna get a double VR. But so far we don't see any extra information on the products themselves. We don't see the amount of rarity splits or special cards, so that means as of now we don't know if this set will also contain a marker mechanic. And so far every new set has introduced a special marker. We've seen it with Grand Blue as well as Mega Colony, so will Angel Feathers also get a special marker or some kind of mechanic? We don't know. That is something that's still in the loop, but once we get the other screenshots about the actual card splits and extra information in the set, then we might actually get some more insight on that. But as I explained, we know a little bit more about this set because we know that certain other clans are going to be in it, like Gold Paladin, and they of course also showcase the VR artwork for Gold Paladin, which is the new Gurguit. And this is actually looking really good. The details on this one is insane. You got the horse, but also the castle in the background and the armor of Gurguit. It is looking so good, and I cannot wait to actually see what these skills are going to be. These particular decks were always really interesting, so I'm curious how they're going to incorporate that in the V-Series, in their styles of card design and their specific skill mechanics, so I'm very curious of how that's gonna function. But we also have 3 more VRs left to be revealed for this set, and that's gonna be these one. Yes, Vanguard is gonna make its return. We also see a very interesting new dragon for Genesis, which is either a new Astral Poet Grade 3 support card for the Astral Plane mechanic, or could this finally be a second Grade 5? I hope it's gonna be a new Grade 5 because I want something new instead of only Valkyrian on the Astral Plane. So far we have no clue. This could be either things, but it's interesting to speculate of what the options are here. Now, the other card to the right of Fenrir is Vanquisher. But not just any Vanquisher, it's not the original Vanquisher, it's also not Vanquisher Sparking, and it's also not a Stride Fusion form like VMAX or Voltage. It's a brand new Vanquisher called Vanquisher Vol Bronto. Basically in the same vein that we see with Dragonic Blade Master with the new Soen. So I'm very curious of what this Vanquisher is gonna do, because I'm really fan of Vanquisher. I'm really fan of the Narukami standard deck that we have right now. So I'm very curious how this card will upgrade the deck. And with the Premium Collection 2020 Stride, I know for a fact that this card 100% can work in Premium, because we always will go back to our Grade 3, so I'm very curious of what this card actually is going to do. Now, in other Vanguard 2 news, we have information about different collab sets. You guys are already aware of the Bank Dream set that has just been released in Japan, and that set has just been released, like not even a week ago, or maybe just about over a week. That set has already been sold out. That's insane how quick that set sold out, and they already announced that they're gonna do a second printing. But if you remember when we talked about these collabs being revealed, there was a second collab, as there also going to be a collab with Monster Strike. They now finally revealed when that's gonna happen, as that set will be dropping in the summer of 2021. So, as it is seen right now, it's basically a collab set once a year. This year we had Bang Dream, then next year we're gonna have Monster Strike. But the differences between Monster Strike and Bang Dream is that that set will also contain a trial deck. So it's probably a little bit more accessible to actually go into that set or being able to play with that specific clan. And they also announced that this set will have a 50-50 split in artists card design, because some of the cards will be made by Vanguard artists and the other side of the cards will be made by Monster Strike artists. So the artwork on cards will differ between certain cards, but that's really interesting as you get the real taste of both games in the specific special collab set. Very interesting and very curious how that's gonna work out in 2021. Now, there's also another very special collab that's gonna happen, which came out of the blue, because a former old celebrity, which was well known with Vanguard, is coming back to Vanguard for a special collab. Yes, we're going to get a Daigo set. And this was the Royal Paladin set that was teased in the schedule for at the end of the year, November. That's gonna be this special Daigo set with Sanctuary Guard Dragon. So if you like that Sanctuary Guard Dragon, or you're just a fan of Daigo in Vanguard, and this was like way back in OG style, as what it was, how far long gone it was. If you were a fan of that, then this set is probably definitely a thing for you. And if Sanctuary Guard is as strong, or at least somewhat in the same ballpark as the original Sanctuary Guard, then it's gonna be a meta divining card. That card was insane and really did some good work in the G era with the whole blaster shenanigans. And if there was one deck that almost made me quit Vanguard, it was that Sanctuary Guard Blaster deck. So hopefully this deck doesn't have the same impact that it did back then, but I am very curious of what this special set is going to do for Royal Paladin. So far we have no official confirmation about any cards or reprints like we had with the Majesty Lord Blaster set, but this is somewhere in the same ballpark as the Majesty Lord Blaster set, as we're gonna have a specific trial deck with extra goodies and that kind of stuff. So I'm very curious what this all going to be once they're going to reveal more information about this Daigo set. Now that is basically all the information for the physical TCG revealed in this product livestream. Now we have a bunch of interesting information for Vanguard Zero, and the first thing of the major reveals, that's basically the whole story about all the other reveals that tie in this one, is that the brand new season for Vanguard Zero is gonna be the Link Joker season. Yes, the Link Joker arc is going to be incorporated in Vanguard Zero, and it's gonna happen starting next month, so in about 9 days. So yeah, this is going to be interesting because I've speculated about this concept in multiple videos and also during my old live streams, where it is an interesting topic to have, where what is gonna happen if they're going to incorporate Link Joker with luck in Zero, as luck could actually be very detrimental to the game itself. So I'm very, very interested and pretty cautious about what they're going to do with that mechanic and the clan. Luckily, the first couple of sets will not contain Link Joker because the Link Joker arc starts off with the high school arc. So there is still some time before we actually go into that. And speaking of that, they also revealed the faces of the brand new set that's coming in the next month, which is, I believe, set 8 or set 9, depending on what the Glory Milsom set was. I believe that's 8, so this is set 9. And they're gonna have Epic Buster for Nova Grappler, Liberators for Golds, and we're gonna get Descendant for Narukami. So that's actually gonna be really interesting. But we also finally going to get a brand new clan, as we're gonna get Genesis. Yes, we're finally going to get Genesis in this set, and as we're seeing, we're gonna have Himiko as well as Artemis, and we're gonna have short-haired Misaki playing as the leader for this particular clan. So I'm very curious of what direction Genesis is going to go with this particular instance. Is they're gonna change up certain skills way back from the original arts and the original skills themselves, but so far, this is all the information that we got for this set. It's going to be very interesting, and I cannot wait till we get these cards in the global side, especially Descendant and Liberators. I'm very curious of how that's going to operate in Zero. Now, another information that they got for Vanguard Zero, which is actually pretty awesome to hear for newer players or players that want to come back after taking a little break for Zero, is that the old banners for Team Q4 and the rival banners are going to change up a little bit. They're still going to pull the same cards, and you're still going to get what you're going to get out of them, but where you usually get normal V medals for every single time you open a pack, you now get special sparking medals. And this is basically a sparking system for that specific banner. So once the Link Joker arc starts in Japan, and I assume once we're gonna get it in global, every 50 packs you open up a Team Q4 banner, you can then also craft a Team Q4 triple R, or you open up 15 packs to get a Team Q4 double R. Same as goes for rifles, that you can open up and craft specific triple Rs or double Rs from the banner. This is actually really great for people that miss certain triple Rs or double Rs and they want to craft it very fast, and it's really accessible by just pulling enough packs off that specific banner, and then you can craft them. This is also awesome if you are missing a specific key card for that clan, and that clan is going to get more support, but you're still reliant on that old card. With this new sparking system, it's very easy to actually just forcefully get those specific double Rs and triple Rs. So this is actually a warm welcome addition for especially newer players or old returning players. So far, it's only for these two banners, so the Asia Circuit one isn't really confirmed, and of course the Link Joker one also isn't going to be confirmed for this one. So we have to wait to see if they're going to incorporate this for other banners later down the road. But for now, this is actually a really nice addition. Now, they also revealed the overall schedule for the new Link Joker arc, and as it's standing right now, the Link Joker arc is split in 3 seasons, and it's gonna be run for a total of 9 months. So that means we're gonna be in Link Joker era till next April for the Japanese side, so add 2 more months for the English side, and that's how long it's gonna be. And that's to be expected, because Link Joker era had a lot, and I mean a lot of sets, and the season in the anime was also pretty long, because you had the high school arc at the beginning, then you had the beginning of the Link Joker arc itself, then you had the whole thing with the reverse units, that's also gonna be a thing then, And then we had the whole climactic battle with Glendios and Chaos Breaker Dragon and Dragonic Overlord the Rebirth and all that kinds of stuff. So there was a lot to unpack during the Link Joker era, and then we're probably gonna shift into the Legion era afterwards, which shouldn't really take that long. The Legion era was relatively short in comparison to the Link Joker era, so that will probably be 1, maybe 2 seasons max. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I'm very curious how they're gonna incorporate luck in this game. And probably we'll do a separate video on that specific topic later down the line, as it's a really interesting topic to discuss, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about, because I think certain people or players overlook the consequences of luck in Vanguard Zero, as the game doesn't really facilitate locking as it did in the physical card game. And in the physical card game, people already had problems with the luck mechanic. Now, this was also the last bit of information for the Vanguard Zero news. Now we get to the extra news outside of the game itself, and that is the new products and new information for the manga and the new anime, which then also will translate in potential future set reveals and that kind of stuff. And the new manga is really interesting because this is going to be a backstory or some sort, or a spin-off series about Kai being in Europe and basically going around there either fighting or training, or what's happened with when Kai was actually being in Europe, because what we saw in the Jira with when the old cast came back was that certain characters like Aichi, Kai, they were somewhere else, and Kai was with the European folks, the guys that we saw in the Legion era. And that is where this manga is basically taking place. We're gonna see the Bluish Flame and Overlord with Kai and Galliard, I believe, the French guy, and probably this whole spin-off manga is basically somewhere between Legion era and early G era, and I'm very curious of what they're gonna do. If you are a fan of the manga and you are a fan of Bluish Flames, then this is probably a story you want to pick up. But now we get in the actual big one. This is what most people have been waiting for. What is gonna happen in 2021? What is the new season? Are they gonna cancel the game? Are they gonna do a new cycle? Are they gonna do a G reboot? Well, as I explained in my video, none of that is gonna happen, or at least maybe the rotation has been confirmed or disconfirmed, but at least no G reboot and no another reboot, because next season of Vanguard is going to be Cardfight Vanguard Overdress, or as I like to call it, Vanguard OD. Yes, we're gonna overdose ourselves on Vanguard, but this is a really interesting concept. So far, we have no clue what this is gonna be. We saw a very interesting teaser trailer. It was really awesome to see them going from the beginning of Vanguard all the way to what we have now, with going through all the seasons. And then they finished up with a small teaser trailer for the artworks for these particular things. What we see so far makes me believe that the new main protagonist, or at least a very prominent lead figure, is gonna be a Narukami user, because we see a dragon egg. That's the one, that's an egg be in the top left corner. Then on the right we see a clear phoenix. This is a obvious phoenix unit. So what is dragons plus phoenix? Which clans fits with that criteria? Narukami. Narukami is the only clan that actually fits that. Kagero is mainly dragons. They don't have phoenix. Narukami actually uses Phoenix for their different units. I mean, the most prominent Phoenix right now is Rising Phoenix. And then what we also see is that the character sheet on top of these two unit drafts is a female. And it's very likely that our new main protagonist, or the very prominent lead figure, is going to be a female Narukami user, which is actually pretty interesting, as so far we never really had a female Narukami player. So all the other Narukami players are very high energetic guys, like we had Ishita Naoki as well as Henry, which were really pretty interesting. We also had the clan leader that introduced us to Vanquisher, which is also a pretty interesting character, but we didn't have a female Narukami player, if I remember correctly. So I'm very curious if that's correct, if my expectation or my hunch is correct here. But so far, this is everything that we got. There's nothing really more to talk about than just this image. So yeah, I'm very curious of what this is actually going to be. And with that, we basically conclude everything that they revealed in the product livestream. On the official TCG, there wasn't really a lot of new unexpected news. I mean, we were expecting Gravail, we were expecting Gurguit, we were expecting these units to return. What's unexpected is that we're gonna have Daigo with Sanctuary Guard, which is interesting, and also a new Astral Poet or maybe a Astral Deity card, which is interesting, and of course Fulguranto. As I was expecting Sparking, but seeing as Soem is a brand new Blade Master, this was somewhat expected, you could say. But besides that, not really a lot of new news. But it's very exciting to actually get a confirmation that this is going to happen. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't see the second set for Tri-Free, which I was expecting. But we still have 1 month left. January is still between this schedule and the next product livestream, because they announced that the next product livestream will be on February the 20th, if I'm correct on the exact date. So that means we still have a set left in January. So fingers crossed that Team Tri-Free actually is gonna have a second set in January to wrap everything up. I mean, it fits perfectly, but that's just speculation on my part. Now, that's basically everything that we've got today. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of these new news for the physical card game, as well as Vanguard Zero, for the manga, the anime. Are you excited about this new stuff? Can you not wait till we get these sets, till we get these updates and all the interesting stuff? Or are you just hoping that 2021 just rolls around as quickly as possible so we can dive in a new era of Vanguard and actually get some really interesting, exciting news? Because 2021 is probably gonna be super exciting, as that's also the 10th anniversary of Cardfight Vanguard. But with that said, I want to thank my Patreon supporters over at Patreon for making this video and everything possible on the channel. You guys are amazing. If you do want to support the channel or everything that's happening on the channel, why not subscribing and hitting the bell button to be updated for future videos, as well as smashing a like button on this video so I know you're enjoying everything that we make. And if you want to help us a little bit more directly, you can go over to patreon.com/VanguardInsider and become a Patreon today. But with that said, I'm Mr. Time Leap, and I see you guys in the next one!